with you is the importance of surrounding yourself around people just like you. Because, yeah, it's one thing to accomplish your goal by yourself, but it's a lot easier and it feels so much better when you got other people accomplishing the goal similar to the goals you want to accomplish. So what we want to do today is we want to introduce to you guys some key members from the movie that we just watched. We're going to introduce Willie McGee.
Let's give him a big hand. Come on now.
We got Shion Cotton. And the head coach of St. Vincent St. Mary's, Detroit Center. These individuals are just going to talk to you guys briefly just about the importance of staying around individuals that has the same goal as you. And maybe after that we can open up some question and answers to you guys. So, floor to you guys. Willie.
To say anything, I just like to take the time to thank you all for what you all are doing for these young men, what you may not know right now, for them to take their time out and invest in you all and trying to help you all and show you all the right way to do things really means a lot. You may not know that right now, but being in that shoe before, not knowing it, like in this movie, not knowing the importance of what my brother did for me, or not knowing what the importance of Coach Drew was doing for me at that time at a young age. But as we grow and look back on it, I know the importance of how they affected my life. And you may not know it now, but something like this can change your all's life, or questions answered today, or some people that you may meet may impact your life a great deal later on. So take advantage of it. Character does count. Do the best you can do. You won't get this day back, so don't waste it. All right?
And how many of you guys enjoyed the movie? It was a great movie, right? Why do you think it was great? Because of basketball? Right.
I think it was great because you guys really showed how like you guys are friends on and off the court, and how much and basketball is not just about skill, it's about friendship and character.
Right, and that's exactly right. Those 5 guys that were in that movie were great because they endured a lot, and they grew up together, they worked together, they were a team, they were good friends, teammates, and they surrounded themselves with good people. And in order to be great, you have to be positive and surround yourself with good people and do the things that's necessary for you to succeed. And in life, you're going to encounter a lot of obstacles, and how you deal with those obstacles is going to show the character in you as a person. And with an event like this, or the lock-in, and good people that's leading you guys, that's helping you grow and develop as young men to be able to endure some of the things that you have to endure as you grow up to be adults. And basketball was an avenue for those guys to excel, and it opened doors. And because of their character and their work ethic, they were able to excel and become the men that they were.
I want to talk to y'all about my main things is leadership. I know in the movie y'all saw we all had each other, and we was blessed, to have each other and be able to lean on each other, and have Coach Drew and have Ilya to look at, to see, to follow an example. But we was just blessed to have that. Everybody not gonna have that. And what I want y'all to realize is being a leader and not a follower will take you a long way. I got a 5-year-old son, and every day I drop him off at school, I remind him to be a leader. I remind him to be a leader every single day. Because being a follower, most likely you're going to follow somebody down the wrong path. And I mean, it's just, I want y'all to realize that being a leader, like I said, we had each other to lean on, but y'all might not have that to lean on somebody that you can follow, that you know is right. If that's the case, like y'all's mentor said, do the right thing yourself. Y'all know what to do. Y'all born with the innate feeling of what we're supposed to do and what's right and what's wrong. So So listen to the right things and not the wrong.
Yeah, I want to know who in here is on the honor roll. It's important, you know. Sometimes, as a coach, and you get to, see the movie. There's some things that kind of get lost in basketball. Because at some point the ball's going to stop bouncing, and then the question becomes, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And if you're not prepared for life after that ball stops bouncing, or whatever that sport is, if you choose to be involved in a sport, if you're not prepared for that moment, then life will chew you up. So, an education is going to be that key that will open up a lot of doors for you at some point in your life. I think too many times in our community, we focus too much on the game, and and sometimes we're not told that there's a bigger game and it's called life, and there are certain things that you need in life to make sure that you live a life that is comfortable. Now, I'm not saying that an education is going to make it so that you don't ever have any struggles or anything, but what it's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you as young men who grow into men that at some point, hopefully you'll be fathers and you'll be able to take care of your family and you'll be able to do those kind of things. Because if you take care of a job, will help you so that you can move beyond those basic needs. All right, and I guess I look at it like this. Most you guys, you all see it every day. You see those brothers on the corner who don't have nothing else to do. They're there. And the thing is, when they were your age, that's not what they planned on doing. That wasn't their goal in life. Their goal in life was not that. But because of decisions that they made, that's where they ended up. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. You don't want that kind of life. So I just want to encourage you to understand that you need to be excellent in everything. Excellent in everything. You need to take that school work seriously. All right? Because it's going to help you. It's going to prepare you. Because there's a larger society that you got to deal with. And that larger society, whether you like it or not, if you don't come the right way, they're not going to accept you. They're not going to open the door and let you in. And education is one of the keys that will open up the door so they can allow you in. Is it fair? Life's not fair. That's just the way it is. And I'm not going to, and if you continue on and you keep playing around in school and not taking it seriously, then you have no one to blame but yourself. Don't become 18 struggling and just making it or quitting school, and then you want to blame it on society or the man. No, you made the decision. You made the choices. And all your choices count. Understand that every day, all day long, you're making choices. And every one of those choices matter. So if you make the choice to be the class clown, it's your decision. And there's consequences that are going to come with it that are far reaching beyond what you can see that happening for that day. That day you may have everyone laughing when you think they're laughing with you. 5, 6 years down the road, they're going to be laughing at you. So I just want to encourage you, to make sure that you recognize the importance of your education.
Anything can be done as long as you put your mind to it, and as long as you put yourself around positive people. On this panel, we got an individual who moved from out of town, didn't know anyone in Akron, Ohio, but still made it. We got an individual who was in college, just graduated, took care of a brother like he was his son, still did it. We got a guy who, when played football, made sure that he listened to his brother and his families, had a foundation, and instead of going away and steering away, he stayed with the foundation. And we got an individual who didn't have an idea of how to coach basketball, and is now mentored, become male role models to hundreds and hundreds of kids in the community. And all of them had pre-existing conditions that challenged them, but they still was able to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. And one of the big things, again, that we will continue to stress on is the importance of standing around people that are similar to you. If you want to be a gangbanger, then hang around the gangbangers. You'll be good at it. You want to go to college? Hang around college students. Hang around people that want to go to college. Hang around people that's doing good in school. People that's volunteering. Go to college. So we hope that you guys got something from this. Is it okay if we open it up for about a minute or so for some questions? You guys got some questions? Shoot for a few questions real quick.
Go ahead.
What was it like coaching all of them? Your first time like coaching them when they was kids?
When they were young, you know, it was great. We started with Shion, as I said in the movie, Shion, Drew, and Brian. You know, I started the year before that, and I was coaching Drew in the rec league at Ed Davis. That was my first time coaching. And Drew's team they were 1-9. You know, they won one game. And then Drew got picked to play on the AAU team, and the next year, and you know, I got involved. But it was great because, you know, they had a thirst. They wanted to be good, and I wanted to be good. So, you know, everything I learned, because you know, the thing about it is I didn't play organized basketball, but I played, you know, pickup. So I had a little understanding of basketball, but I wanted to give them the best. So I started reading books. I started asking other coaches, and everything that I learned and I taught to them, they ate it up. So I had to keep learning because they were eating it up. Everything I showed them. And then when Willie came along in 7th grade, it was the same way with him. So it was good because, you know, when I saw them from a young age, you know, mature, grow up, I understood who they were and recognized that this was their passion. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for me.
As you were saying, how sports is like the other thing that you shouldn't be thinking about, like you should think about your future. Like that's kind of difficult for me because I don't know. I don't even have, like I haven't thought about my future as much, like more as what I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to figure out like what am I going to do after I get out of college, or what kind of am I going to college or?
Let me ask you this. 'Cause that's a great question. Because, you know, what do you like doing now? What is this anything that you do right now that you get so involved in it that you lose track of time?
Wrestling.
Okay, so that's great. And sports, understand how to use the game. Right? You heard me say it in the movie. Use the game. Don't let it use you. Use basketball. Don't let it use you. That's for anything. So use wrestling. You can use wrestling as a vehicle to get you into college. And once you get into college, then you'll find some things. And you want to go with where your heart is. And as I want to suggest to you to read. Most of us don't read books, but readers are leaders. Trust me. Understand that. Readers are leaders. The guys who are reading the books are going to open up a world to you. Then you're going to maybe find out something that you enjoy. But you need to open up your mind and expand your mind by starting to read some books and find out some things. So when you get to college, you can use the wrestling to get you there, but when you get there, then you have a feel for some other things that you might want to do with your life.
And if I can touch on that as well, two of the most important things anyone ever told me was to be a student athlete, because they knew how much I love sports and me wanting to be like my brother and play for my school. And then the other one was, you can't win in the game of basketball if you're not winning in the game of life, because once the clock goes 0-0-0, you have to deal with life. And to say that is, wrestling and basketball can be our motivation to get where we want to go or to get good grades, to give us an opportunity to go where we want to go. So you can use wrestling as your motivation to do well in school and to get you to college. And the answers that you may not be able to answer right now, but you continue to do the right thing, those answers will become clear to you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you understand that if you've been given a gift as far as wrestling or something else that you're passionate about, that you get into and lose time and better yourself in, and you use that and be the best person you can be in that, and it takes you as far as you can be, and you're outside of that, you're still gaining friendships and good relationships with other people, caring for people, showing that you're a leader, volunteering, helping your family out and stuff like that, that goes a long way. And wrestling can open doors for you that can introduce you to someone that may be your boss in 20 years. That's why you treat everybody like they're somebody, and you respect them. You know what I'm saying? So you never want to close your door. So as you continue to do the right things, good things will happen to you. So it's understandable that you don't know what you want to do right now, but if you continue to do what you enjoy doing and you continue to treat people the right way, things will become more clear to you. You'll have more opportunities for yourself.
Like in basketball, I've been playing for 8 years now, and my granddad trying to help me to show me how to do things in basketball and mentally. See, sometimes I have trouble doing when I get angry, and then I start messing up, missing shots, doing that, and I've learned the fundamentals, so I say that, but I don't know if I actually learned it fully well.
Okay, so getting angry is not a bad thing, okay? As long as you use the anger in the right way. You seen my son in the movie. Drew had a temper. All these guys will tell you he had a temper and he would get angry. That was in the movie when he threw the ball at the rim. That was a misuse of his anger, all right? But his the same passion, that he just used it to be excellent. So when you're doing a drill and your grandfather's helping you and going through some drills, I always tell them, you've heard people say practice makes perfect. Well, that's not it. Perfect practice makes perfect. So you gotta be perfect in the drill. And can you be perfect at anything? No. So you've always got something to work on. And I think a lot of times what sometimes you guys miss out on seeing, you see the end result, but you didn't see the work that these guys put in. And there's a lot of work involved. There's no shortcuts in life. And if you're willing to do the work and you stay true to the work, then you'll be okay. And as far as your anger, as long as it's not misguided, you're not angry at the opponent, you're not angry at your teammate or your coach, but you understand that you're angry maybe at yourself because you didn't give all that you could in that moment, then you can use that to motivate yourself to work on
those things and you build on those, you'll build a lot of character and you'll go a long ways because you're always trying to better yourself. And it's an internal challenge for me, and that's been something that's been very helpful when I look back on just trying to do the right things.
Because how did your son take it? Because I've been one of the shortest people in my whole school, my whole life, and I don't feel good. My cousin, she like 5 months older than me. She a girl, and she like that tall compared to me.
Yeah, well, girls grow faster, trust me. That just happens. Most girls grow faster than you guys will catch up. But sometimes that's something that's out of your control. So sometimes you can you don't wanna waste time thinking about, I'm too small, I'm a little guy. You just gotta figure out a way, as a little guy, to get the job done. And that's what Drew would do. I mean, he figured out, as a little guy first, you know, when everyone that was his size, he was real good with the ball, he could get to the rim and score. When guys got bigger, he could get to the rim and they block his shot. So he felt like, well, I gotta develop something else, so he started shooting the ball. And, yeah.
Okay, I'm an honor student and I'm really good at basketball and people say that I have a bad attitude for real, but I try to change it. Do you guys have any like tips for me?
When you say you have a bad attitude, what do they mean? How are they saying?
Okay, they say that I'm a good player, but like your attitude sucks. Like I get mad when they don't call fouls.
Oh, okay, so you're trying to control all the things that are going on. Well, you can't control whether the fouls are gonna be called, because you can't play the game and ref it too, all right? So you gotta understand that, in that moment, you know, we lost the state championship game. I look at it wildly, because we allowed the referees to get in our heads. The players did, and I wasn't able to bring them back, all right? So the key to all that is, you have to understand, you're not gonna be able to do, no matter how angry you've gotten, has a referee ever changed the call? So, they're not going to. So it's a wasted energy. You can say, you can tell him they were wrong, it was a bad call. He's not changing it, so it's wasted energy. So there's more constructive ways to use it, all right? And then the other thing is you know, if someone fouls you and you still make the shot, now, you know, you made them feel like, wow, what I gotta do next to stop it? So, you know, it should be your motivation to continue on, not to, you know, to wanna have a temper tantrum, because that's not gonna change the call.
And then I just heard you, added that, I just heard you say, they say I have a bad attitude, and they say this. Make sure, fellas, that you be able to keep it real with yourself. You know, do you think you, honestly, like if nobody was here and you looked in the mirror and said, do I have a bad attitude, what would that mirror say? Right. So, it's important to keep it real with yourself so that you can grow. If you don't keep it real with yourself, you'll never be able to grow. You'll always be telling yourself, well, I don't really have a bad attitude. They say I got a bad attitude. But you gotta just keep it real with yourself and try and grow, like he said, be a better person than yesterday. First of all, you gotta be real with yourself.
I think he had his hand up for a while.
Last question, fellas.
What made you
When I was in high school, you know, I come from a little small town, and, you know, wasn't too many African-American men who were doing anything that I, you know, wanted to do. You know, most of the, you know, my father was a janitor, he cleaned buildings, and my uncles, you know, they worked in a steel mill, and that was great for them, but you know, I guess I wanted something else, and I had a high school coach. He used to drive, you know, to coach at our high school, he used to drive about, you know, 45 minutes one way every day to coach us through high school. You know, he was the first guy first man that I met that, you know, had a heart for us, and, you know, he had his, had his degree, and he was a coach, and he worked hard with us and inspired us. So when you know, as I was growing up, I thought, hey, that's something I would like to do. You know, he went on to become a high school principal and did a lot of great things in the small town where he was from. So he was just that person in my life that, you know, I wanted to be like growing up. And it wasn't, you know, if I can say this, I know y'all trying to go. Sometimes, you know, you gotta understand, you know, sometimes we think that we have to do this big thing to have an impact. Well, these men right here aren't doing a big thing in the world's view, but they're having a major impact because they're giving up their time. They're giving up their time to help you out. So sometimes, you know, you may not have a worldwide stage for what you do, but that doesn't mean that you're not having an impact. because that guy, he coached us at a little small town in a little small high school, yeah, but he had enough impact to change my life. And, you know, so don't value what you do by the number of people who you're affecting, because at the end of the day, it may only be one, and if it's one, then that's a great thing.
Gentlemen, we appreciate you guys coming out, and what we're gonna do is we'll do this in an orderly fashion. What I want is we're gonna start with this row. We'll go here, and we'll work our way down, shake our guests' hands, and then we continue to walk up and walk on out that door. We'll start with right here. Like that. Keep going down. Keep going down. There you go.
Shake my hand now.
All the way up. Charles, keep going all the way up.
That's your first impression. Year number 6 in Germany.
Hey, Ken.
I'm getting in Europe.
You gonna need a
Hey, come on, Ken.
Come on,
Just come on. What you waiting for? Just come on.
Practice.
That's what I said.
You said practice.
You don't get a lot of money.
What?
You said practice. You said perfect practice.
Larry, what's your last name?
Three. Yeah, I thought I saw it on the floor and somebody gave it to me.
He already picked it up.
Where you at?